The financial habits keeping you poor. Most people don't become financially successful because of one lucky break. And most people don't stay financially stuck because of one terrible decision. The truth is much less dramatic. Financial success is usually built through habits, and financial struggle is often built through habits too. Small habits, daily habits, monthly habits. The kinds of behaviors that seem harmless on their own, but when repeated over years, they quietly shape an entire financial future. That's why two people with similar incomes can end up living completely different lives 20 years later. One gradually builds wealth. The other remains trapped from paycheck to paycheck. Not because one worked twice as hard, not because one was twice as intelligent, but because their habits were moving their money in different directions. Today we're talking about the financial habits that quietly keep millions of people poor. Not because they guarantee poverty, but because they make building wealth much more difficult. Let's begin. Habit number 1. Spending everything you earn. The first habit is also the most common. Many people believe financial progress comes from earning more money. But if every dollar that enters your life immediately leaves your life, nothing changes. A paycheck arrives, bills get paid, shopping happens, subscriptions renew, entertainment continues, and by the end of the month, the account is almost empty again. This cycle repeats month after month, year after year, without creating lasting wealth. Because wealth is built from what you keep, not simply from what you earn. Habit number 2. Living paycheck to paycheck. Living paycheck to paycheck creates constant pressure. Every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. Every emergency creates stress. Every delay feels dangerous. And under financial pressure, people often make short-term decisions, not because they want to, because they have to. Without savings, money controls your choices, instead of your choices controlling your money. That's why building even a small financial cushion can completely change the way someone experiences life. Habit number 3. Buying things to impress other people. This habit is incredibly expensive. People buy luxury items, expensive clothes, new cars, the latest gadgets. Not because they truly need them, but because they hope those purchases will create an image of success. The problem? Attention fades quickly. Payments don't. Trying to look wealthy often delays actually becoming wealthy, because appearances require spending. Real wealth usually requires ownership. Habit number 4. Ignoring small expenses. Many people only pay attention to big purchases, but wealth often disappears through small, repeated spending. A subscription here, a convenience purchase there, impulse shopping, food delivery. Daily habits that seem insignificant. Individually, they're small. Collectively, they can cost thousands of dollars every year. And over decades, those small decisions become surprisingly large. Habit number 5. Waiting to save what's left. This is one of the biggest financial mistakes people make. They tell themselves, "I'll save whatever remains at the end of the month." But the month ends. Unexpected expenses appear. Spending increases. And nothing is left. Financially successful people often reverse the process. They save first. then spend what remains. Because what gets prioritized usually gets done. Habit number 6. Constantly upgrading your lifestyle. Every raise feels exciting. Every promotion creates new possibilities. But many people immediately increase spending. A bigger apartment, a newer vehicle, more expensive vacations, more monthly obligations. Instead of allowing income to create wealth, they allow it to create a more expensive lifestyle. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest reasons people earning good incomes still feel financially trapped. Habit number 7. Avoiding financial education. Many people spend years improving career skills, learning new technologies, developing professional abilities, but they spend almost no time learning about money, investing, saving, taxes, budgeting, risk, compounding, debt. These subjects influence life for decades, yet many people leave school without understanding them. Knowledge doesn't guarantee wealth, but a lack of financial knowledge often leads to expensive mistakes. Habit number 8. Thinking only about today. Human beings naturally focus on immediate rewards. That's normal. But financially successful people train themselves to think beyond today. Before spending, they ask, how will this decision affect me 5 years from now? That simple question changes behavior because it shifts attention away from temporary satisfaction toward long-term freedom. Habit number 9. Never investing. Many people believe investing is only for the wealthy. Ironically, investing is one of the ways many people become wealthy. Waiting until you feel rich enough often means delaying the very process that helps build wealth. Time is one of the greatest advantages an investor has. And every year spent waiting is a year compounding cannot work. Habit number 10. Fearing every financial risk. There's a difference between gambling and taking calculated risks. Some people avoid every opportunity because they're afraid of making mistakes. They never invest, never learn, never grow, never take chances. Playing it too safe can sometimes become its own financial risk, because avoiding every opportunity may also mean avoiding long-term growth. Habit number 11. Blaming everything except your habits. This may be the hardest habit to overcome. It's easy to blame the economy, inflation, employers, markets, politics, luck. And while external factors absolutely matter, they don't eliminate the importance of personal habits. Financial progress usually begins when people ask, what can I control? Income, saving, spending, learning, investing, consistency. Those actions are not always easy, but they are often within personal control, and that's where meaningful change usually begins. Habit number 12. Expecting quick results. This final habit destroys more financial journeys than almost anything else. People expect wealth to arrive quickly. They want immediate success, immediate returns, immediate freedom. But wealth rarely works that way. The beginning feels slow, sometimes painfully slow. Progress appears invisible, which is why so many people quit. Not because the strategy failed, because they became impatient. Financial success rewards consistency far more than excitement. The big lesson. If you step back and look at all these habits, you'll notice something interesting. None of them seem catastrophic on their own. That's exactly why they're dangerous. They're small, ordinary, common, easy to ignore. But habits compound, just like money compounds. Good habits build freedom, bad habits build financial stress. And both happen gradually, not overnight. The financial habits keeping you poor are rarely dramatic. They're usually quiet, automatic, repeated without much thought. Spending everything you earn, living paycheck to paycheck, ignoring small expenses, saving last, avoiding investing, chasing appearances, thinking only about today, expecting overnight success. None of these habits guarantee financial struggle, but together, they make wealth much harder to build. The good news is that habits can change. And once your habits begin moving money toward savings, toward investments, toward ownership, and toward long-term thinking, your financial future begins changing too. Not because you suddenly became lucky, not because you suddenly earned millions, but because the small decisions you repeat every day finally started working for you instead of against you. And over enough years, those small decisions can completely transform your life.